Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Thank you for kicking off the contribution. Malika said, Fantasia realized single people keep people single. Her husband and marriage are more important than socializing with broken and bitter hyenas. And we are definitely going to get into it. We are definitely going to get into it. You know, I gets into troubles whenever I try to play videos. So we're gonna do it like this. We's gonna do it this way. Let me see. Because I want y'all to hear it. It's more important to hear it than see it anyway. So we're gonna throw this up there. Because that seems to be the only way for me to play certain types of videos. So let me share. And I'm gonna let it play just a tad. But we gotta also do this. So, and I just want you to, we're gonna focus on, I may get into other aspects of this as well, but we're gonna focus on just this little snippet of story. And we may have a broader conversation about the color purple, because you know what, I'll save that. Let me just let you guys hear what we're really talking about.
How to flip the switch on and flip it off. Otherwise, it could drive you mad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you have your own, like she says it all the time. She has her cross the bear, and then your characters cross the bear. It's too much. It can be too much. So I was trying to help her out with that a little bit. I would try to make her come outside sometimes, but she got the dog.
Yeah, Tasia, I heard you got a little story for your dog.
She had a
What's
dog.
this fake dog story?
She had a dog. We would always be like, Tasia, come out, girl. Come over for drinks, some wines or whatever. Oh, girl, I can't. I got to go home and walk my dog.
Until we found out.
She didn't have a dog.
Yeah, I've never known you to have a dog.
This morning she didn't have a dog.
Right.
So, for you didn't know she didn't have a dog either?
They told me in the group. I said, that dog, there's no dog?
I was sharpening up my acting skills. And they believed me. I said, baby, I got to get home and feed that dog. So I did it for a while, and all of a sudden she said, you ain't got no dog. And I had to tell the truth. But guess what? I talked it up so much. I have a dog now.
You manifested the dog. What is the dog named Purple?
No.
What's the dog's name?
Lola.
Oh, Lola.
That's Lola. That is Kaziah's sister, and all they do is fight.
Well, I'm glad you actually got a dog now. and let me get to this. Did you wear your purple dress for Leonardo DiCaprio when you saw him? What was that like? I got a good little clip. Y'all.
Now, we're going to stop. We're going to stop sharing. Hollow No Face, you on somewhat of a time out. Because how you going to say, not for the Slim Fast. Not for the Weight Watchers. I'm done with you with that. So thank you, Miss Lou Casely, for your super sticker, sweetheart. So now, all jokes aside, let's talk about it a little bit, because they kind of she passed it off as a joke. Okay. She passed it off as a joke. She laughed it off. You understand? She laughed it off. Thank you, love my fave. Thank you, sweetheart. She laughed it off as a joke, right? She didn't put too much on it. She didn't over explain it. She let the story be the story. She did not embellish it. She didn't come behind it. She didn't try to she did not try to do anything with it. She let it be what it was. And she left it at that. The reason that she had to make up a story, I'm going to tell you why she made up a story. She made up a story because you cannot be truthful to hyenas. Hyenas like to be lied to. They like being lied to. They like being lied to by other women. They like being lied to by men, especially. They like being lied to by the society. Hyenas like lies. Hyenas, they say they don't like to be lied to. They say that they don't like to be misled and all of those sorts of things, but they absolutely love to be misled. Because they live in lands of delusion. The boneyard is a delusional place. So they live their life based on stacks of lies and different kinds of lies that they tell themselves, lies that they tell other people, lies that they want other people to tell them, and things of that nature. So hyenas like lies. The faster that a lioness understands that hyenas like lies, the less that you will feel bad as a lioness for telling them lies. Don't feel bad as a lioness if you got to lie to a pack of hyenas to get out of their presence without having to bite them to get out of their presence. They laughed the lie off, but they would have been offended had she told the truth. And the truth would have been, I'm not hanging out with y'all for a couple reasons. Number one, my husband wants me home. That in and of itself is offensive to hyenas. A woman that will do what her husband wants her to do is an automatic offense to a hyena, because you are not supposed to want to do what your husband is saying. The hyena code is to defy men at every turn. Defy him, defy what he wants. See, as soon as you tell a hyena what your husband likes and that what he wants you to do, they will try their utmost to get you to defy him. So if you were to say, well, my husband don't want me out past a certain time, what they'll do is they'll try to coerce you to go out with the promise that they won't hold you longer than what you need. Okay. But then they will come behind that and they will try to shame you and ridicule you for doing what your husband wants you to do. So if you say, well, I can hang out with you for a little bit, but, I really don't want to be out too late. I like to try to be home by a certain time. They will try to make sure to run interference and delay you beyond that time. Because what they want is for you to have trouble in your house. And they want to be the cause of you having trouble in your house. Case in point, the Simone Biles situation. They want that woman to have trouble in her house. They are on the internet, egging it on well beyond any point of reasonable discussion. The things that they are saying to this woman and about this woman and about her husband and all this other type of stuff, they're making up narratives, they're making up stories, they're making up all kinds of stuff in order to sway her or get in her head and all of that type of stuff. And she kind of responded, her latest response to them was, y'all want me to be insecure so bad. Like, that was what she said. And her clapbacks are phenomenal, but they don't even deserve that. Mrs. Owens, they don't even deserve that, beloved. Don't even give them that. Because that lets them know you read it. And even if you might not be able to avoid reading them backhand comments, don't even stoop to the level of even giving them the satisfaction of knowing that you read the comment. That's where you gotta be with hyenas. You can't even give hyenas the satisfaction. That's how you treat a hyena. That's how you treat a dirty backfoot. You can't even give them the satisfaction. The satisfaction of what? What? I ain't read your comment. Huh? You said who knew what now? Who are you? Well, do I know you? See, you gotta play hyenas. You gotta play hyenas. You gotta lie to them. They like lies. They like it. They like being lied to. You who? Well, who are you? Who are you? Well, excuse me, who are you now? You know, I don't respond if your name don't have a blue check. Oh, y'all not blue checks? Ooh. You know, be disgusted. You gotta show hyenas that they disgusting to you. You understand? You gotta be like appalled. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta be like, oh, shocked that they would even feel like they had the right to say something to you. Oh, baby, I could get on my lioness high horse now, baby. I can get shocked now. I can be astounded. Oh, wow. Because how you get on Pride Rock to talk to me? Because I certainly didn't stoop down into the boneyard to talk to you. Is that back feet? Oh, girl. Gotta be appalled. They get real offended for that. That's how you really offend a hyena. They don't even know why they get offended for it. But if you just be appalled at the fact that they even over here talking to you, like, you ain't even gotta say it. Just clutch your imaginary pearls. And just be shocked. Because, baby, the audacity. That's what everybody got for Christmas. The audacity. Ooh. You can't give hyenas the satisfaction, baby. Because they thrive off of just a little bit. Mm-hmm. Our energy is really, you got to think about it. Lionesses have to think about it like this. We actually too good to talk to hyenas. We really are. We too good for them. And I know people want to be like, oh, we're not better than people. Yeah, I'm better than a hyena. I'm straight better than a hyena, like I am. That don't make me perfect. It just make me better than a back foot. I mean, I don't have back feet. I don't know what you want me to do. And this is where Fantasia found herself. Not having back feet. She looked at her feet and was like, I don't got lioness paws. Oh, those are not paws. And she went so far as to create an entirely false story. She did not have a dog. At the time that she was telling them that, she did not have a dog. And so she went so far as to create a false narrative that she stuck to. So they had to figure it out. It was more palatable to them. I want y'all to understand a few points. It was more palatable to the hyenas that she would have to rush home for the sake of a dog than she would have to rush home for the sake of her husband. She actually would have offended them had she told them that she was rushing home to her husband. They would have gotten offended by that. Oh, man. See, and she had a black man too. See, that's a problem. But because she told them that she was leaving for the sake of a dog, that was actually okay. That was okay to them. I want people to understand what lionesses have to go through when we deal with hyenas and in a hyena environment. We have to work with them and be around them because you're not going to escape dealing with the hyena clan. You got to do so in such a way where you spend minimal energy with them and around them. See, I'm becoming more and more convinced that Fantasia was always a lioness. She just was caught. She was born in the boneyard, and that was just her environment. She didn't know no better than stuff that was in the boneyard. So she was doing boneyard stuff, but I don't think her heart was ever in boneyard stuff. I don't think her heart was in it. She just needed to be introduced to Pride Rock so that she could know that there was somewhere else for her to be other than in the boneyard. It's lionesses like that. That's why my channel, that's one reason why my channel is here and why I do what I do. I told y'all that I go to the boneyard to call the lionesses out because there are lionesses in the boneyard. And many of them are in the boneyard because they don't know no better than to be in the boneyard. That's all they know. That's all they've ever seen and all of that. So they get boneyard stuff, but their heart and their mind don't truly be invested in the boneyard because it's always off to them. It's always off to them. It's something always usually be off for them. Most lionesses in this society is born to hyenas. Okay? A lot of us are born to hyenas. So we be born in a boneyard. I was born in a boneyard. Many lionesses, we born in a boneyard. That's where we be born at, surrounded by back feet. And sometimes you get caught up in back foot activity. But if a lion come along or another lioness happen by and show you the way of the lions and show you the way of the lioness, you will come out of it. You'll be, oh, wait, so this is where I belong, because then you get a sense of belonging that you never had in the boneyard. Even if you be doing kind of boneyard activities to a certain degree, You never go too far. You don't ever go too far. And if you see lions and lions come to you and they find you and they tell you, well, you know you're a lioness, right? You don't need to be in the boneyard. Oh, that's what's wrong. And it all dawns on us. And then we were like, oh, we wasn't supposed to be in the boneyard. No way. Oh, that's why they ain't never liked me. Now that makes sense. See, I'm guaranteeing you that was Fantasia's issue. Born in the boneyard, getting caught up with boneyard activities because she had a child when she was real young. Notice she only did that once. To my knowledge, she only had one child out of wedlock, I do believe. Because when she was auditioning for way back when on American Idol, she had a child. So she wasn't constantly doing that 4-5 baby daddies and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I be talking about when I say lionesses can't escape the boneyard unscathed. You're gonna have something, some mark, either internal or external. You're gonna have some mark from the boneyard, something that let you know that you was there, although you was never a hyena to begin with. That's what I be talking about. That's kind of why I wanted to talk about Fantasia today. Because she got a lion around her that pulled the lioness out. Oh, baby, you can't do this. Okay, listen. Let me introduce you to Pride Rock, baby. Okay, this is the structure. This is the order. This is what we gonna do. Okay, and she felt at home with him. Oh, she had 2 kids. Okay. And so it's like, okay, let me get myself together because this is actually what I have been missing. So there's going to be that time period of adjustment where a lioness is going to be chaotic. Okay. But if she is a lioness, she will fall under order. She will make herself fall under order because that's what she wants. That's what she wants. Take a little second and get that boneyard, to rinse the boneyard off of you so you can actually be a lioness. Now I feel like she's comfortable with that. She doesn't want to lose her husband. She doesn't want to lose the stability of her marriage. If you ever hear Fantasia talk about her marriage, she speaks of it in a way in which she's telling people like he saved her. What did he save her from? The boneyard and a life of the boneyard and just being over there. That's something worthy. That is worthy of saying, okay, I don't want to ruin this, right? And see, this is what I mean by boneyard activity that she was engaged in, because she did do that baby mama song. And I've talked about that before, how the anthem of bigging up the baby mamas, like we not doing that. But she was also caught up in a boneyard. She wasn't married when she dropped that song. I bet you dollars to donuts she would not drop that song again if she hadn't dropped that song before. Like, you couldn't get her to sing a song like that now. because she was really singing that like from her heart. I did not like that song at all. You know, like, why is we doing a baby mama anthem? Like, we don't need no baby mama anthem. Like, come on now. Right? I'm laying out the groundwork. Because Fantasia is still in the industry. The industry itself, the entertainment industry itself is the boneyard. If you're making your money over there, then you are definitely in the boneyard. And so you have boneyard things to contend with if you're going to work and commute into the boneyard. Okay. Couple of things. She realized that she needed to keep her distance from her castmates and the mindset that they represent. Right? The mindset that they represent. They represent a particular mind state and mindset that is infectious. It's viral. It is an infection. The way that hyenas think. It is an infectious mindset that you constantly have to sort of decontaminate yourself away from. It's a thin line to go into the boneyard as a woman because you constantly have to pull yourself out of the environment so that you are not contaminated with it. Easy to be contaminated with boneyard thinking. The reason why it is easy to be contaminated with boneyard thinking is because it is a twist on female nature. It is a twist upon female nature. So it plays into feminine chaos and things of like that. Okay. It twists this for women. So that it is a dangerous area. You really have to extract yourself away from anybody or any environment that feed into that too much. Because there's always that chance that you can be infected by them. There's always that chance. So now she works in the boneyard. She work in the boneyard. Okay. Like I said, anything that she do in the entertainment industry, whether it's singing for the Color Purple or whether she was doing some other project, it's the boneyard, all of it. All of it. She's going to run into that same mindset no matter where she go. If she intends on being in the industry in any capacity, she's going to have to completely pull out of it if she don't want to deal with it at all. Right? She has needed her husband's grounding. And this is just my personal opinion. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong about all of this. But just watching certain things unfold so far, she has needed her husband's guidance to make her have a boundary and then make her stick to that boundary. Okay? And this is true of most women. This is just true in general with women. This is one reason why women need husbands. And I kind of spoke on it yesterday when I talked about the Taraji situation and why she needed a husband and why the lack of a husband has really played a role in where she is right now professionally as well as in her personal life. Because men add structure to things. They add structures. And they add structures to women. And they give women guidelines to live by. And that is outside of even their interpersonal relationship. See, a man's guidance for his wife is not just within his relationship between him and her, but every endeavor that she do, especially if she's heavy in her profession and she's known in her profession. And especially if the profession can easily be toxic to her. Many times a man will just extract his woman out of it, but she was there prior to him. So I don't know that he wanted to completely take her out. However, now there must be strict parameters and boundaries built. If you're gonna continue to sing and, act or whatever it is that you want to do, you can. I'm giving you permission to do so. However, we got to monitor that. And boundaries must be set now. Because if there are no strict boundaries set and enforced, you will be recontaminated with the boneyard. Because we done decontaminated you, but you will get recontaminated. And if you get recontaminated in the boneyard, you will lose me as your husband. So you will have to choose. You will not be able to do both, because I'm not going to tolerate a woman that's in the boneyard, that's doing boneyard activity and for these streets and all this other foolishness. Like, we're not doing it. So you either going to do what you do, but with my SOS around it and my boundaries that I set for you, or you don't do it at all. Simple and plain. Okay? It just is what it is. So you're not stopping her, but he did create the boundary. In order to have some type of harmony and not be in bad with people you got to work with all the time, she told him, I got to go. And she made up a story, because I'd rather do that with you, which I personally would have just told him the truth. That's just me. But Fantasia, lionesses are not all built the same. And like I said yesterday, I be reticent to put lioness on people because they can just flip the script and it's like, okay, you was a hyena all the time. So like I said, this is just my opinion on it. You got to take this for fact. But for the sake of the conversation, it not all in general, even if you don't want to include Fantasia in that category, all lionesses are not built the same. It's levels to it. That's because all hyenas is not built the same either. You got the loud, boisterous, masculine, over the top hyena, and then you got the docile hyenas. You got docile hyenas. Hyenas that bite you and then you turn around and they act like they weren't biting. Ain't good docile hyena. She's not submissive, she's just docile. Is the difference. And then you got levels to lionesses. All lionesses don't operate at the same level. Some lionesses is new to it. Easy to pull them back into the boneyard and all that kind of stuff. Some lionesses don't know how they move uneasily around hyenas because they still kind of leery about what a hyena might do. And then it's lionesses like me that'll bite a hyena and then look at her. Because personally speaking, I'm not telling you. I'm going home to my husband. You what? Say something else. And I wouldn't even say those words. I would just, the energy would be, say something else. Choose your next words carefully. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't even say the word, but the energy would be, choose your next words. Because I know you better not say nothing about my husband. All right, babies. We'll be back tomorrow. Back at it tomorrow. Yeah. Mumble among yourselves. Cackle when I'm gone. Make sure I'm out of earshot. Make sure I'm out of earshot. You be careful. You walk on eggshells. I'm not walking on nothing. I'm walking on the floor. I'm solid on the ground. You float on the eggshell. I'm not floating. You float. They all float. You gonna float. You're gonna float. I'm not floating. You levitate and figure out your words properly. Gravity got me. Let's see you defy it. Fantasia is not on that level. She don't want to get into too much conflict with the hyenas. So she, said no. She knew what kind of hyenas she was surrounded by. And it was going to be tension on the set and all that other foolishness. With her husband's guidance, it is work to her, not a lifestyle. I'm going into why this is important to talk about. It's work to her. It's a lifestyle for them. When I say that, I mean that the tropes that are presented in the storyline of The Color Purple, that is a lifestyle for them. It is work for her. For her, it's a job. It's an acting job. She's not taking that into her relationship, hopefully, and into her real life, hopefully. Leaving it at work. Leave work at work. Yeah, I got to be Miss Seeley and all that on camera. On camera. Leave the fantasy in the fantasy world. I'm not really Miss Seeley. I'm not married to Mr. She needed to go home to detox. She's Seeley in this adaptation. She had to go home to her husband to re-solidify that her husband is her husband. She not married to Mr. She married to her husband. Fantasia is married to her husband. Seeley is married to Mr. It's completely different. And it is important for her to go home to make that cutoff, to cut that off and bring her back to reality so she could be at home with the solid real life man that she's actually married to, because Miss Seeley is a fictional character and so is Mr. The rest of them is living the lives of their characters to some degree. They don't have men that they going home to. They can afford to hang out together every this and that every weekend, and when they get off a set and go drink or chill or have a nightcap or whatever it is that they was going out doing, they're living that life to a certain degree in real life. She is not Celie. She got a detox, come out of the character, and that completely, and that means not being around your castmates, because some actors do method acting. It's different ways to be acting, and sometimes it's be difficult for them to come out of character, so they have to go somewhere else where that character don't exist and be them. She got to go home and be Fantasia. Celie is at work. But for the most of them, the character that they play, they identify with that character personally. Now we can get into the problem with the color purple. It's the play. This movie is the adaptation of the musical, of the Broadway musical. So yes, she did play Celie in the Broadway, but this is that adaptation, which is why she's Celie again. Okay. Because see, I didn't see this. This is just me surmising. Class assignment says she and her husband were online discussing how much he helped her with boundaries while shooting the film, so she didn't bring it home. It's on TikTok recently. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not too far off the mark if she and her husband are saying that they did that. I have not seen any TikToks where they discussed it. Whenever I hear Fantasia talk about the color purple in this press junket run, she's talking about it from the aspect of work. She's talking about it from the aspect of how she acted the role, how she got into the role, and things of that nature. You can tell the way that she talks about it, it is separate for her. And her husband was instrumental, guaranteed. So instrumental in making that clarification for her. It's easy for women to go into fantasy worlds. Our imagination is great. Okay. It's just how we handle it. That's why men are necessary. Husbands are necessary, because they actually keep us grounded in reality. We will float away into the land of whatever without the anchor of men. Men are in reality. We are not. Okay? We need men to be anchors for us. I swear to you, I can create an entire narrative in my mind and either be happy about it or mad about it. I swear. None of it will have happened in reality. Put a 1 in the chat if you are a woman and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Can we or can we not create entire narratives? And we either will be happy with that narrative if we created a happy one, or we will be all the way in our bag about something that has never actually happened. And we have to catch ourselves like, why are you mad though? You know that ain't happening, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You have to come back to reality. This is why I chose to channel that as a writer. I chose to write fiction because our ability to do that is phenomenal. We make up a whole situation. Nothing happened. Where are you getting this from? So I said, you know what? Put it in a book. I'm gonna make some money off of it, because the ability to create an entire scenario that don't really exist. That story writing right there. Yeah, I got to write that. Well, I got to start making some money off of that. This is ridiculous. But this is actually the difference between lionesses and hyenas, because lionesses recognize that we do that. And so therefore, because we recognize that we do that, we understand the importance of not allowing ourselves to get into that space where we are self-sabotaging and doing other stuff and getting all crazy. This is why we accept so graciously this and submit so willingly to our husband's order. And if we don't have husbands, our fathers and what have you. This is why lionesses submit so easily. We know we need the order. We know we're chaotic. We know it. Hyenas deny this. Lionesses embrace that. I know I'm chaotic. I know that. You think I don't know that? You think I don't know I can go all the way into just outer space, just outer space, just outer space. I'm a whole female. We bleed once a month and don't die. Like, we kind of crazy, low key. It's just that lionesses know that. So this is where all that submission come from. Because we know that a man's system, order, and structure is absolutely necessary so that we can maintain being in reality and operating properly. We don't operate well without SOS. This is why lionesses have prides, because we don't do well by ourselves. We fall apart. Every lioness can attest. We will fall apart without the guidance and the protection and the structure of a pride. We're out of there. Lionesses, we can survive a little bit, but then it get to a point where we can't really do it because we need the order. Need it. I need my husband's order. I need his grounding in reality. He's in reality. He's in the real world. Stuff is going on for real for him. So when he come to me or talk to me, like, I'm not sharing these outlandish thoughts, obviously, because that's stupid. You don't give voice to it. You don't really give it any energy. You just know that it's there. You just know that it's there. So since we know that it's there, that's why we accept the system and order and structure so great, so openly, because we know we go everywhere and his order brings us down. The stories of the color purple have, and the dysfunction of it, let me be very clear. The dysfunction of the color purple has shaped generations of Black women's perception of Black men and being oppressed by them. And Black men are either painted as abusive, they are Mr., or they are weak, they are Harpo. I want y'all to notice something very clear with the agenda of the color purple. Who's the actor that played Mister? Without Googling it, because I can Google it. I'm just running a slight experiment. Who's the actor that played Mister? Do we know? Danny, no. No, the new one, not the original one, not the original Mister, the new one. Some people have said the name Coleman Dingo, and some people say they don't know. Why isn't he on these interviews for the press junket of The Color Purple? Is not Mr. a main character in this story? Is not Mr. the main antagonist in the story? So why he wasn't on that panel to talk about his role and what he had to get into to play Mr. Such a demonized role. Black women couldn't stand Danny Glover for about 30 years after that movie. Okay? Talking about he missed it, and that was a whole role for that man. And honestly, I don't care who plays any of these roles, because I disagree with the fact that the movie was ever adapted on Broadway or readapted to the silver screen. I'm in complete opposition to this movie on every level. Let's be clear. I'm in complete opposition to this movie on every level there is. So I don't care that it is promoted. I was hoping that it wouldn't be even created, let alone promoted. But since it is, we know who the movie is for. The movie is to perpetuate these tropes and reimpose them and reinforce them into the minds of Black women. That's the purpose of it. Why else would a movie with no relatability to Gen Z be re-brought to the screen? The movie came out in the 80s. It is set in like the early 1900s, late 1800s, early 1900s. It was somewhat relatable then because you had a lot of baby boomers watching it, and their parents were silent generation, so they may have heard stories and things of that nature, right? Gen X was affected, but we were young when the movie came out. We was kids when the movie came out. But boomers were not children. They were adults when the movie came out. So it was more effective to them, and the damage was immense because it shaped the generations after perception of Black men for Black women. I did a thing on A Color Purple already. So I'm not going to rehash it. But we already know that that's what it was, right? It's still, the adaptation is still set in that same time period. Gen Z has no connection to that time period. So they reintroduced a movie that young women cannot relate to. Can't relate to the time period that it was set in and things of that nature. But they did something very tricky. They put Halle Bailey as, I think it's Halle, as the young Celie, I do believe. She's young Celie. This is a Gen Z girl. She's young. So she's there to relate to the young women. Fantasia is young enough to relate to young millennials and young, you understand what I'm saying? Maybe not 18, 19, 20, but mid 20s, early 30s can relate to Fantasia. She's young Nettie. Okay, she's young Nettie. So you're reindoctrinating younger Black women as if they need it, because the indoctrination of feminism has been so effective that they actually hate Black men anyways. So you really don't need to reinforce that, but they are going for the death knell of the women. I'm going to wrap this up. We're not really going to have overtime today. That trips me out. She acts as if this is the greatest story. That really trips me out. This is why I did that video a while back when Oprah was trying to come out and say, oh, we were wrong about Black men. This is why I paid that no mind. She don't get no cookie for that, because you still instrumental in the destruction, because once again, you putting your money and your production behind one of the most divisive fictional stories ever told to the Black community. One of the most, if not the most, divisive fictional tale told to the Black community, specifically told to Black women about Black men. And it boggles the mind that this is a fictional tale. Nothing about that story was based in reality. Nothing about that story was inspired by true events. Nothing, absolutely nothing. It came out of the ether of Alice Walker's warped mind, okay? And she put it to pen to paper. Then they put it from the paper to the movies. And you would think that as a work of fiction, that it would not have had quite the effect that it had. Or if it did, it would only have affected the generation that looked at it. But it did not. It went well past the generation that watched it. Filtered into, alongside feminist rhetoric, second wave feminist rhetoric, third wave feminist rhetoric, alongside those things, it became one of the most dangerous psychological tools, because women, Black women, took to that like a duck to water. And for the life of me, aware of the psychological effects of mass media, entertainment media, things of that nature, music and movies and cultural shifts and all of that type of stuff. Like, I'm well aware of it. But the way in which the color purple, it was a phenom in a negative way because of that. Like, it was mind-blowing, the effect, the long-term effect that a movie like that actually had. One of the most destructive pieces of fiction. It was worse than actual history. Let me read these super chats. Did I say thank you to you? Love my faith. Thank you so much. Thank you, Steve, for your contribution. Thank you so much, Kevin, for your super sticker. Thank you again for your contribution. Said, for Fantasia, when a man truly loves a woman, he will automatically protect her. Thank you, Southside Militia. Said, crazy sisterhood approves pet care over man care. Thank you, Bertram. Said, Crimson, I feel that when you try to tell modern women that they need a man, I feel they scoff at the notion because they truly don't understand what men bring to a woman in a relationship. This is true. Thank you so much, Lion Prince, for your super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you, Frederick. Said, I appreciate seeing new ladies in the chat. Cece, your plaque is us. Definitely, you guys are my plaque, and I appreciate you. Thank you, Mogul. Said, indoctrinate a whole new generation. Exactly. And thank you, Caleb. Said, thank you for being ingenuous, positive voice. Am I reading that correctly? Thank you so much. Shell Shock said, the color purple is literally a lesbian love story between Suge and Celie, but they act like they don't know that. You see what I'm saying? And thank you, Danielle. Said, love you, Miss Kendra. Love you guys too. Thank you so much, sweetheart. And thank you so much, Jared. Said Mr. was played by a rainbow actor. They hate men too. The fact that they have a rainbow actor to play just the layers of that. Just it's just a lot of layers. Let you know what. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Thank you, Caleb. So I meant to say genius. Oh, thank you so much. No problem. Oh, the cash apps. The cash apps. So let me, because I did get some. So MMABDLCRWTRBS and M. Thank you so much for all of you guys' support. I really, really appreciate it so very much. I'm so he rainbow. You know what? You know what? I'm not. I'm gonna end the show because I gotta end the show. Let me do my ending again. Is the plaque tied to finances? Why she don't have one? They just keeping the plaque from me. They just decided that they're not gonna give it to me. They continue to act as if they're gonna give me the plaque. Oh, we don't know. We're reviewing your channel, and they've been doing that since I got 100,000, which was like in what, May, June, something. I'm not sure. And so I have lost hope that they're going to give me. I don't even pay attention to the little emails that they send because it's all the same. Oh, we're still working on it, that type of stuff. So I don't really have any confidence that they're going to give me any plaque or anything like that. I feel a little bit way about it because I feel like, why not? But they are doing what they want to do, and it is what it is. I can't make them give it to me. I'm certainly not gonna beg for that. I'm not gonna beg for no plaque. It'd be nice, but I'm not gonna beg them for that. I refuse. And so therefore, I just leaves it where it's at because it makes me too mad because I don't like what I perceive to be injustices. Give me a reason. If you're not gonna give me the plaque, I think what bothers me the most is that they act like they're gonna give it to me. My thing, and I've told them this, say no, right? Just say no. Tell me why not, and just leave it at that. Just leave it at that. But don't keep coming back acting like, oh, we're gonna give it to you, but we're reviewing it. Like, don't lie to me. Don't play in my face like that. Just say the answer is obviously no. Like, the answer is obviously no, right? Because I've written them back a couple of times before. And I'm like, this is the worst customer service I've ever had in my life. Like, do y'all call this customer service? Is this what y'all call it? Because I would have been fired for not resolving a customer's issue for months. Get fired for that. I got a couple of more super chats. I've always said, I meant, do you get more bread for the plaque? No, the plaque doesn't do anything. It's just a symbol of you having reached a particular milestone in YouTube. I do think that it adds a little bit legitimacy to your channel when people can see your plaque, because sometimes people cheat for subscriber numbers, which I did not. That's actually the first thing they check for. Did you cheat your numbers? Did you cheat the numbers? And I didn't. So they didn't have a real reason to say no, like you disqualified from getting a plaque because you cheated the numbers. So I didn't cheat the numbers. The numbers are organic. My views and engagement is all organic. And so because they didn't have a solid ground with which to say no, they're leaving it in limbo. Thank you, Mr. Enigma, for your super sticker. I appreciate you. So That's why I don't really talk about it, because it's like, just say no and be done with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't y'all play in my face, and I don't like that. But in any case, I appreciate you guys. As long as my supporters are supporting me, as long as I feel like I'm giving you all value when y'all tune in and things of that nature, that's what's important to me. The plaque it would have been nice, but like I said, I'm not gonna beg them for that. They can keep their plaque. They want to keep their plaque, they can keep their plaque. I'm done. Like that Vince McMahon meme. Like, we done with it. But anyway, let me get on up out of here. Once again, jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.